Kurunji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurunji Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurunjischoolnkl.in.
In continuation to the last class, in this class we are going to discuss the next continuation theoretical topic, convection. And after completion of this, we will go to discuss radiation. Okay, ma? Right. Now, we are going to discuss convection. You know, what we already discussed, heat is a form of energy. Heat is a form of energy which flows from a body at high temperature to the body at low temperature. Okay? But if you come to the point of modes of transfer of heat, one of the mode we already discussed, which was conduction. So by taking iron bar as an example, if you take iron bar and if you try to heat one end of the rod, the other end also will become hot after over a period of time. This is because whatever the heat energy you are providing at one end of the iron bar, received by the iron molecules which are present at that particular end, will transfer heat energy from there to their neighboring molecules. Next, those molecules will transfer the energy to the next neighboring molecules. Like that, you know, the heat energy flows from the end where we are going to heat the iron bar to the other end. That is the way how energy is transferring from one end of the iron bar to the other end of the iron bar in the mode of conduction. Okay, right. That is the best example and we already discussed. Now we are going to discuss the next mode of transfer of heat energy, which is convection. Right. As simple as such, convection is a mode of heat transfer by actual motion of matter. Convection is a mode of heat transfer by actual motion of matter. I hope you understood. The best example to observe the convection is heating water. You know, you take the water in a vessel and you are going to heat the bottom part of the vessel. See, after over a period of time, the bottom molecules, the water molecules which are at the bottom of the container will go to the top. You know, the water molecules which are present at the top will come to the down. So in this manner, the water is going to boil. Okay. So boiling of water is the best example to observe the mode of heat transfer. That is the second mode of heat transfer according to our syllabus. That is convection. See here. It is possible only in fluids. Convection can be natural or forced. Right. Very important point, ma. Convection can be natural or forced. Right. In natural, gravity plays an important part. When a fluid is heated from below, the hot part expands and therefore becomes less dense. less dense, right? Full stop. Because of buoyancy, it rises and the upper colder part replaces it. See, the part which becomes less dense, the part which is hot rises and goes up, and the part and the molecules which is there at the upper part will come to the down. That is what the upper colder part replaces it. This again gets heated, rises up and is replaced by the colder part of the fluid. The process goes on. Just now I told you, see, before entering into the discussion from here onwards, I told you the best example to observe convection, that is the second mode of transfer of heat, is boiling water. Okay, right, say this. This mode of heat transfer is evidently different from conduction. See, convection involves bulk transport of different parts of the fluid. Okay, that is what he is saying. This is the difference. Convection involves bulk transport of different parts of the fluid. Okay, right. And this is all about natural convection. And see, in forced convection, material is forced to move. In a forced convection, material is forced to move by a pump or by some other physical means. Full stop. The common examples of forced convection systems are forced air heating systems in home, and the human circulatory system, and the cooling system of an automobile engine. See, the best examples for forced convections are the forced air heating systems. If you go to the colder areas like Bangalore and Australia and Canada, right? In some of those places, we are using room heaters. Right? So those were removed the force. That is what forced air heating system. Forced air heating system becomes under the example of forced convection. Similarly, human circulatory system is also the example of forced convection. And one more best example is cooling system of an automobile engine. Is another important example of forced convection. Okay, next. In the human body, the heart acts as the pump, and you know that. In the human body, the heart acts as the pump that circulates blood through different parts of the body. Transferring heat by forced convection and maintaining it at a uniform temperature. See, in human body, one of the important fluid is blood. What is the role of blood, right? And what is the quantity of the blood? Most of the things you are getting from biology point of view, but here what I am saying is this important fluid also having that melting point and boiling point, like that, no, generally. Okay. See, regarding the blood, it requires an amount of temperature for the comfort flow and for the healthy flow. Okay, that is what generally here human heart is like acting like a pump to. Human heart acts as the pump to pump the blood from top to the bottom. Generally we use the words like high BP, high blood pressure, and low BP, low blood pressure. Okay, so we have to get the importance of those two words. Now, with the help of pictures, I am going to explain the importance of convection regarding the formation of, that is what, clouds and then rain, and to protect us from high cool of the land, over cool of the land, similarly over hot of the land, etc. Observe carefully. See, natural convection, I already told you. Natural convection is responsible for many familiar phenomena. That is what, for example, during the daytime, the ground heats up more quickly than large bodies of water do, because the ground is in contact with water, no? So roughly on this planet we have 70% of water 30% of land. See, land is in contact with water. So during the daytime, the ground heats up more quickly than large bodies of water do. This occurs because the water has greater specific heat and because mixing currents disperse the absorbed heat throughout the great volume of water. And after that you can say the air in contact with the warm ground is heated by conduction. It expands, becoming less dense than the surrounding's cooler air. So as a result, what will happen? Warm air rises and the air moves to fill the space, creating a sea breeze near the large body of water. You can see in this picture what is happening near the large bodies of water. See, when cooler air descends and a thermal convection cycle is set up, see which this convection cycle transfers heat away from the land. The same scenario what I told you will reverse in case of night. See, at night the ground loses, right? The ground loses its heat. The ground loses its heat more quickly, and the water surface is warmer. And the water surface is warmer. And the water surface is warmer than the land. As a result, the cycle is reversed. Just now I told you, no? So the same scenario what I told, what will happen in case of daytime regarding the sea breeze, regarding the heating up of land, and next water which is in contact with the land will reverse in case of night. So at night actually the land has to cool. So to balance this, heat energy flows from water to land. Then automatically we can maintain normal temperature. While explaining this topic, you have to keep in mind, we can't exist at minus 273 degrees centigrade. Our body does not exist at minus 273 degrees centigrade. So it will become like that is what seizable. Not only me, Amma, not only we. Minus 273 degrees centigrade means almost universe stops. So the universe ceases. Okay, that's what we can say. Next, see the other example of natural convections is, for example, the steady surface wind on the earth blowing from northeast towards the equator. So which is called as trade wind. The reasonable explanation regarding this is, the equatorial and polar regions of the earth receive unequal solar heat. Am I right? See, why the peoples which are close to the equator generally black? The peoples who are living far away from the equator like red. For example, you see the Australian peoples, and you see the American peoples and Canada peoples, and you see the South Indian peoples and African peoples mostly. When compared to the South Indian peoples, African peoples, right? See, African peoples are black now. See, why? Because they are living very near to the equator, right? So that's why I am saying this point means, the solar heat is not going to cover equally to all parts of the earth. Okay, right. Air at the earth's surface near the equator is hot, while the air in the upper atmosphere of the poles is cool, right? So in the absence of any other factor, a convection current would be set up with the air at the equatorial surface rising and moving out towards the poles, descending and streaming in towards the equator. Okay. See, finally what he is saying, air current takes place continuously because the solar heat is not covering the entire earth equally. Because of this unequal distribution of solar heat, so convection current exists naturally. That is what he is saying finally. See, the rotation of the earth, however, modifies this convection current. Because of this, air close to the equator has an eastward speed of 1600 kilometers per hour. So he came to the point of measurement, right? So the speed of the air at the equator, air close to the equator has an eastward speed of 1600 kilometers per hour. Similarly, it is zero close to the poles. close to the poles, right? So in your lower classes, when you are in 9th class, 10th class, 8th class, in social studies you got it, right? So what about the geography, right? In the geography subject you got many things related to this. Now, for example, if you take the air not at the poles, as a result, the air descends not at the poles but at 30 degrees north latitude and returns to the equator. This is called as trade wind. Okay, right. For this explanation, what I told you just now, I am giving conclusion with only one point. See, because of not able to cover the solar heat throughout the planet, air current exists. That is what natural convection. Natural convection. Because of this natural convection, right? Here what is happening means, see, the air speed is not same. The clouds are going to form on the rainy season, and ice cubes, right? If you go to see Jammu Kashmir and Amarnath, right, traveling, and there you can experience the ice cubes, right? See, ice shriveling or something. This is all just because of the formation of ice and because of the imbalanced solar heat to cover that place. Similarly, air also. So this is the link one to other. See, heat, energy and pressure and air current, these are all interlinking to one to other. Okay, right. So this is the second mode of heat transfer, that is what convection. Next, one more important thing, radiation. So this is the last mode of transfer of heat, that is radiation. See, conduction and convection require some material as a transport medium. Will you agree to me? See, conduction, what I told you, example, iron bar. See, if you heat one end of the iron bar, the other end also will become hot, right? That is, in case of conduction, transfer of heat takes place without actual transfer of molecules. Without actual transfer of molecules. But in case of convection, heat transfer because of physical transfer of molecules from one place to another place. Okay, that is. So, but in case of radiation, medium is not required. That's what he want to say. See, these modes of heat transfer cannot operate between the bodies separated by a distance in vacuum. See, conduction and convection not possible when there is a gap between two things. That is what, especially in case of vacuum. So vacuum means there is no medium, right? So when there is no medium, also heat is going to transfer. The best example is our solar system and our planet. See, when we are going for space journey, we used to take oxygen cylinder, okay, because of the less availability of oxygen. And one more important point is, after traveling to certain distance, we have to travel or we have to face vacuum. That is the reason, okay, right. Now what I am saying is, even though we have vacuum from sun to, even though we have vacuum between sun to earth, but we are getting heat, no? We are getting heat. So this is what we can say, heat energy transfers even in vacuum also. Okay, right. And here you can also say, see, but the earth does receives heat from sun across a huge distance, and we quickly feel the warmth of the fire nearby, even though air conducts purely and before convection can set in. Okay. See, especially in winter, we are going to sit in front of the fire early morning, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, like that. You know very well, air is a bad conductor of heat. Even though air is bad conductor of heat, when you are going to sit in front of the fire, immediately you will feel somewhat hot, right? It improves the blood circulatory system. That will be different situation. But what I am saying is, even though air is a bad conductor of heat, you are feeling warm as a quickly means. See, what is the conclusion you can draw here? Heat can transfer even in vacuum also. That is the conclusion I can give strongly. See, that is what he is saying. The third mechanism of heat transfer needs no medium. It is called radiation. And the energy so radiated by electromagnetic waves is called radiant energy. is called radiant energy. Okay. What is electromagnetic wave means, that you will come across in second year syllabus. That is what complete one chapter is there, EM waves. But now I want to say electromagnetic wave consists of oscillating electric field and magnetic field which are propagating perpendicular to each other and also perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. And the speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Okay, that is. And one more important point I want to say. See, heat is transferred to the earth from the sun through empty space. That's what we already, I'm repeating second time because already we had one sentence here regarding that transfer of heat even in vacuum. See, the electromagnetic radiation emitted by a body by virtue of its temperature, like the radiation by a red hot iron or light from a filament lamp, is called thermal radiation. Is called thermal radiation. But when this thermal radiation falls on other bodies, it is partially reflected and partially absorbed. The amount of heat that a body can absorb by radiation depends on color of the body, right? We have three primary colors now: red, blue, green. So in this entire universe we have three colors basically, R, B, G: red, blue, green. So remaining colors are because of superimposing these colors, right? So because of overlapping of these colors, we are going to see the rest of the colors. At the same time, white color is the combination of 7 different colors, that is Vibgyor, okay, from violet to red. Now, we found that black bodies absorb and emit radiant energy better than bodies of lighter colors. Okay, so black body is a good absorber of heat. No, black body is a good absorber of heat. And this is the fact you can find many applications in our daily life. That is what generally we used to wear white cloths in summer. Even doctors also advise to wear white cloths because white is a good reflector. White is a good reflector. But in case of winter, if you wear black cloths, you will be very comfort because black is a good absorber of heat. Even though less amount of heat is present in atmosphere, it will absorb the maximum extent. That's why I can say black color is I can't say that black color is you have to wear the black color, but if you wear black colored cloth, you will be comfort in case of winter. That's what I can say. And the bottoms of the utensils of cooking food are blackened so that they absorb maximum heat from the fire and give it to the vegetables to be cooked. See, the bottom part of the kitchen vessels, if black means, when you are going to give heat, maximum amount of heat will be absorbed because black is a good absorber of heat. That's what we can say. So these are all applications. Similarly, flask, thermos flask or thermos bottle is a device to minimize heat transfer between the contents of the bottle and outside. Yesterday also we discussed the same thing. Thermos flask means, if you take either coffee or tea or water, what is our requirement? It should be hot for some time, for 12 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours, like that. See how it is to be maintained with the same temperature or constant amount of heat energy means it will be like isolated, right? So there is no chance for the flow of heat to go from outside to inside or from inside to outside. Then you can maintain constant temperature. Because how it is possible to maintain like that means it consists of a double walled glass vessel with the inner and outer walls coated with silver, so that radiation from the inner wall is reflected back into the contents of the bottle. The outer wall also similarly reflects back, reflects back any incoming radiation. So automatically the space between the walls is evacuated to reduce the conduction and convection losses of the flask. That's why the flask is supported on an insulator like cork. See, the device is therefore, the flask is therefore useful for preventing hot contents from getting cold or alternatively to store cold contents. See, yesterday already I discussed to you about this flask, because when I was talking about isolated system, I think not yesterday, two classes before when we were talking about isolated system, I told you, okay. But here the perception is, see, the conduction and convection losses are minimum in case of flask. That is the main reason to keep the contents which are present in the flask to be hot for 12 hours or 16 hours, etc. Okay, right. So in this class we discussed about convection and radiation completely. In our next class we will discuss Newton's law of cooling, and along with that Newton's law of cooling we will also discuss one example problem, that is example 11.8. okay ma? Right. Thank you.